tuning to low speeds. So I'm making new software which is tuned for the NPR, but over 24 FPS. So this is 24 and this is fine. So it's only the low speeds. I'm tuning the next one, but otherwise this is working pretty well. You can see the sync volume light, the red light there. It's behaving normally, except the 16 FPS. So I'm tuning the software later on. But this is otherwise I could shoot a movie with this already if not using the 16 FPS. This is perfectly fine. And we have the manual engine, but it's a bit stiff. It's supposed to be used like this. You can use the what is the pinch grip? It's possible. If getting more budget, I may fine tune this shape of this lower portion. So it's 3 separate parts. This is separate and this is separate and this is the part. So I could change this to other one, but I don't have budget to redesign it at the moment. So at the moment I'm using this, and this is I designed it so that it has enough room to manually inch like this, but you could manually inch like this with tiny bit smaller base, but I need to think about it, and I need more budget because I only got 2 orders for these motors and I used all the budget on this. So if getting more orders I can reshape this, but this does work fine. And you are probably wondering why it's so long this direction, but if removing the magazine, there is, without the lens, of course, lenses can be heavy, but without the magazine there is just enough length so that the camera doesn't fall over. So till forward, but it's not recommended to store it like this without magazine. And the center of gravity is tuned so that with magazine it should stay upright just fine, but without the magazine it might be front heavy, especially if the viewfinder is tilted to the front. But I just can't control all this stuff. So I have one selection button there which is in the normal position, but when the magazine is in place it's impossible to reach without some kind of stick or something. So I attached the second button here. I wanted to attach it here, but it's not possible. This would be really safe position for it, but there is no room in the electronic casing. The circuit boards are on the way, so I had to attach it here, but it's fine. And it's extra. This is actually the same circuit board than on the 4-speed V2 motor. So the second version of the 4-speed motor has this circuit board. The first version is different. This board is, at the moment it's running the first version software. So I'm upgrading the software because the second version of the 4-speed universal motor has possibility to input external speeds from the autocoder, this device. The sales version don't have this gap, which I covered with tape. This is the prototype version. The sales version looks the same, but it doesn't have this gap and this tape. otherwise it's the same. So this is compatible with very many different cameras, and it's compatible with this motor too. So I can connect it. Let's see, I didn't have it connected. Let's connect it. I can use the counter. So I'm making sure I have to. No. This is for AL16. These are the correct settings, and then confirm, and yes. So I'm manually inching and can see the counter is advancing. So this does work fine as a counter already with this software, but I need the newer version, the second version of the 4-bit software to enable the. Oh, okay. Film mess. Normally people don't run this with the door open. So let's see. This is funny. So I can use the counter already, but I can't input external speeds from this device yet because I need the newer version of the software, and then on the newer version I'm enabling the external input and also fine-tuning the low speeds. The higher speeds are fine, but lower than 20 FPS need further tuning, so I'm tuning the software next month, probably. And then, but I can use this as a counter device just fine. Preferably running the camera door closed so that I don't make this huge mess, but anyway. And this works with V-lock batteries just like the normal 4-speed motors, so to this point I have sold the 4-speed first version motor, and I'm starting to sell the second version of the motor with external input and counter output somewhere around early June maybe. So this uses that version of the circuit board. It has the same version, circuit board version than the 4-speed second V2 motor. Yeah, the second version. And the software will be about the same. If I need some fine-tuning for the NPR, then the software might differ a little, but it's essentially the same than the 4-speed universal motor V2 version. And one can order these Saturn counters at the same time with these motors if one wants. So this is the 6-speed NPR motor. If I'm talking about the 6-speed motor, then let's take the magazine off. So yeah. So it's this motor. The circuit boards have selection button, but on this NPR motor I'm adding another button here because it's impossible to use this if the magazine is attached without some kind of long stick or something. And you can see how it works: 16, 24, 48, 25, 50, 33, and 16 again. And with the updated software, after this there is an extra preset with knowledge lit up, so that will be the external input, but I haven't programmed it yet, so I'm tuning the software later on. But I can already shoot with this, if not using the 16 FPS. Otherwise it works fine. And normal 4-speed motors had 4-pin power connector, and this has the 5-pin connector because it has, you can see here, it has the counter output on FPS input. And the V2 version of the 4-speed universal motor will also have exactly similar connector to be compatible with the atom counter. So I'm starting to shoot tests with this, and you can see it's almost tilts over without the magazine, but not quite if the viewfinder is not the front position. So, but normally one doesn't store cameras like that. So, and 3/8", quarter inch. So 4 tripod threads. I would to refine the shape a little, but if getting more budget, then it's possible. This is perfectly good motor already, so starting to shoot tests with this.